Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Samantha and I make minimalism and intentional living content. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you will have noticed that I have not posted for I think well over a year now. And before I came back on YouTube and started making videos, I wanted to give you an explanation as to what happened to me. So at the end of 2020, I gave birth to my daughter, and I even have a video which documents the delivery, and everything went absolutely swimmingly. But unfortunately, I sustained a birth injury at the hands of my midwife and the NHS, which meant that I was pretty much out of commission for an entire year. So what happened is that my stitching came undone, and even though I flagged it pretty quickly, nobody paid any attention. My experience of maternal care has made me realize that it's not really taken very seriously. People kept telling me that I would improve between 6 to 8 weeks, and I kept powering through, but internally I was just like, how do mums put up with this level of pain? And I thought I was being a wuss. So I did continue trying to power through, although I phoned my GP at week 5, week 6 and week 10 just because things weren't improving. And then finally at week 12 someone saw me, and then they realized that my stitching had come undone and that there has been extensive damage. And the reason why the damage got so bad is because they didn't see me for that long, and I was just powering through, doing everything that a new mum needs to do, and I was making everything like so much worse, because in order to be able to work through the pain, I was compensating in different ways, and it was just made everything really bad. So what ended up happening was that I was under the care of the hospital for an entire year. I've needed to do physiotherapy. It was 2 hours a day, and it's gradually reduced down. I couldn't walk for the longest time. I was bedridden and I was sofa bound, and I had to give up the physical care of my daughter up to my mum and my sister and my husband just because I couldn't do it any longer and I needed some time to recover. So I can walk now, but it was a good 10 months I think before I could walk without pain. My entire existence was full of pain. From morning till night I was in pain. So I recovered around October, and unfortunately our family went through a really big tragedy. My father passed away. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'll get emotional and I'll get upset, which I already am doing. So he the one good thing was that he saw me recover. The last week or so he saw me being able to walk, being able to sit on the floor and play with my baby. And honestly, we thought we were going to have such a good Christmas and New Year because, you know, we were all together, my health had improved, but he passed away really suddenly. I mean, my dad has been sick for a really long time and he has been rushed to hospital before, but he's always come back, and we just thought it was another one of those incidences, but he deteriorated super quickly. So it's been a really difficult year for our family, and you know, COVID obviously compounded everything, like my health issues and stuff. I think I would have been seen a lot earlier. I do think that they kind of dropped the ball quite a lot, the NHS and kind of my treatment. I think I would have been seen a lot earlier, and I don't know, it's not been a great experience for me. And if I were to ever have another baby, I think I would definitely look into having an elective C-section. That is actually available on the NHS, which I didn't realise. I thought you had to go and have, like, you know, a normal delivery, but you can have the option. And even though I'm healthy again and I should be able to give a normal delivery, I don't know whether I would want to put my body through that again. Saying that, you know, we're not even discussing having another baby or anything like that. We're still kind of finding our feet as new parents. Jasmine is now 1 year old. It's been super challenging, to be honest. Motherhood has not come naturally to me. I love being Jasmine's mum, but it is like a new job, and you're trying to learn a lot of skills within a very short period of time, because obviously the well-being of your child depends on it. So it's been tough, but it's been immensely rewarding. I'm really glad that we decided to have a baby. It's very enriching, but again, you know, you don't have a lot of time for other stuff. That's why I've not been on YouTube, because really just making sure that I can get well, just making sure that Jasmine is okay has been the top priority. So in terms of living arrangements, the last time you guys saw me, my husband and I were living in the loft conversion of my parents' house, and we were saving for a house. We had saved about £40,000, I think, and we were about to look for a house when COVID struck, and then we put that on the back burner. So what ended up happening is that we've actually moved out, but we've not bought a house. We're renting a flat very near my mum, because I've realized with the birth injury and everything, like how dependent I am on my mum, not just for like helping with Jasmine, but really for the moral support, the emotional support. I've needed to rely so much on my support system, my best friend, my sister, my husband, my mum. It's really, I mean, I've always been quite family orientated anyway, but it's really made me realize that I don't want to go anywhere that's too far from my mum. And before it was my parents, and now it's my mum. And especially with my dad passing away, I don't think I can bear to be separated from my family at the minute. So we are just renting a flat nearby. We still want to buy, but I think that's some distance in the future. Our savings have taken a real hit. As I said, we had £40,000. At the moment, we have £25,000. A big chunk of it was, it went towards furnishing the flat, putting a deposit down for the flat, buying a car. Related to my pregnancy, unfortunately, Andrew left his job. So they had a restructure. Again, COVID, they had a restructure and he had to find a new job. But he did have a company car from the previous job, and he absolutely loved that car. Like, we absolutely loved that car. So we did have an option of buying the car outright, and we decided to go ahead and do it. It was under 3 years old, so it was a fairly new car, and it was quite expensive. It's a Nissan Qashqai, and I love it because it's just great for our family, to be honest. We've got Jasmine in the back seat, and actually we'd even bought the car seat for the car. And then we realised that he wasn't going to stay in that job any longer. Andrew's got a new job now, absolutely loves it, but it does mean quite a bit of travelling for him. He travels maybe 3 or 4 times out of a month. Again, another reason why I have to be close to my mum. I need that support in looking after Jasmine. And I am a little bit anxious to be left completely by myself, if I'm honest. New motherhood, again, as I said, I found it quite difficult. I found it quite challenging. Some people take to it really well. And the other thing that I found difficult about it is that your freedom is just goes. You just don't have time for anything. But I am getting it a little bit back now that she's a bit older. I'm trying to find ways to get a little bit more time back, so I can make my YouTube videos, so I can do my work, so I can do things that I enjoy as well, because life is for living and for enjoying, and not always just full on grind. We tried Jasmine with nursery and she absolutely loved it. She loves socializing with other children, but unfortunately she got sick. She picked up a bug, which apparently is like super common, but that bug became 2 bugs back to back, and she has been sick for all of December. And honestly, emotionally, I can't take that. I think I'm going to wait a little longer until she's maybe 2 years old. Then maybe I'll put her into nursery, or at least 1.5 years old. I might look into a nanny just because I need a little bit more time, and my mum might be traveling to Bangladesh in order to look after my dad's estate and sort some things out. The next thing I want to talk about is whether I am still a minimalist, and that answer is yes. I'm still the same kind of minimalist that I was before, which is a realistic minimalist for my lifestyle. I've never been one to be super extreme about the whole thing, and I've had to rely a lot on stuff this last year while I've been ill, and it's made me really realize that extreme minimalism is a healthy person's game. I've needed so many things to help me with my health recovery and my journey. I've had to buy a sofa that I can sit on comfortably. It was a love seat and it cost £800. Had to dip into my savings for that. So things like that. We have 3 nappy bins, for example, 2 in my mum's house, 1 for the flat. My mum has 3 flights of stairs, and in terms of like my health, I can't be going up and downstairs all the time just to go to and locate that 1 nappy bin. So I have to negotiate how much movement I can do. I mean, I'm a lot better now, don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to illustrate that I have needed stuff, and I will buy stuff to make myself comfortable, but within reason. I've never been one for overconsumption or conspicuous consumption, but at the same time, there's a part of me that does really like nice things. And I know a lot of you are new to my channel, and I wanted to make it clear what type of minimalist I am, because I don't want to be held to a standard that I myself don't adhere to. Why I like minimalism is that it allows me to be satisfied in the life that I lead, in the money that I earn, in what I can afford and what I can't afford, and it makes me be at peace with things that I can't afford. Now, that's not to say that I don't want to save up, that I don't want to increase my income, that I don't want to buy nicer things in the future. I would love to have a nice house. I like the idea of having a designer bag, for example. So in the future, if I am lucky enough to make these purchases, I don't want people to think that I'm being some kind of hypocrite, because I've always liked these things. I will always like these things. But minimalism helps me feel grounded in the life that I lead right now, and it helps me be satisfied. Saying that, my channel will still continue to have minimalism content, decluttering and frugal living content, as well as some financial content as well. I also should mention that I believe in systematic change. I think if you want to make a real impact in terms of global warming and climate change, it needs to be governments, companies and systems that need an overhaul. I don't think the responsibility should lie with the individual. So even if I did try to go zero waste, which I'm not going to do, even if I did try to go zero waste, expecting 9 billion people in the world to go zero waste is not a workable solution. We need wholesale change. And also, me living in the country that I do live in, and my carbon footprint is always going to be more than somebody in a village who lives in Bangladesh, for example. So I think we need to be realistic about these things, and I do think the zero waste movement and our quest for sustainability on social media can be a little bit harmful in its messaging. I don't think a moral crusade against individuals is particularly helpful. So in terms of what's next for this channel, I did do a low buy no buy a couple of years ago, and that's what helped me save so much money. Next year is not the year to do a low buy no buy, but I do want to reduce down my expenses because I spent so much money in 2021. Health reasons, new baby, all of that stuff. So next year I want to be much more mindful about my spending. I want to document it all, and I'll be making monthly videos going into how much I've spent and going into quite a lot of detail about it. I'll have a spreadsheet which I'll share here with real numbers, which I will talk through. I think that would be quite interesting. Really, that's all the updates that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm so glad to be back on YouTube. I'm so excited that the channel has grown somewhat while I've been away. I really hope you guys enjoy seeing my journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.